Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. जय राधा माधव, राधा माधव राधे, जय राधा माधव, राधा माधव राधे, जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह, जय अनंत देव, लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव, जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव, लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव, जय विघ्न विनाशा जय नरसिंह देव, भक्तवत्सला जय नरसिंह देव, जय विघ्न विनाशा जय नरसिंह देव, भक्तवत्सला जय नरसिंह देव, जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद, जय जय गुरुदेव, 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 जय जय गुरुदेव। निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय जय श्री राधा माधव की जय, जय जय श्री सर्व विघ्न विनाश लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव की जय, जय जय श्री भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। हरि बोल। Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna to all devotees.
Hare Krishna Mathaji, thank you for your melodious voice and the 2 services taken today. Hare Krishna dear devotees. Anil Prabhu, Hare Krishna Anil Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Prabhu, Sindu Mathaji is not there.
She should be joining in any minute, Prabhu. Let me just check on with her.
Yes, please, Prabhu. Hare Krishna dear devotees. We have a couple of minutes. Let us wait for the Sindu Mathaji to join the session, and then she will start on the Dhyana-Yoga. Today, chapter 6, that is on the Dhyana-Yoga. May I request all the devotees to switch on the cameras, please? And one more request, please rename yourself. Hare Krishna dear devotees. May I request to switch on the camera, please? Is my voice loud and clear now?
It's not, it's very less, Prabhu.
Okay.
Voice is very low.
Now it is okay, Prabhu?
Yeah, now it is okay, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna dear devotees. Can you switch on the cameras, please? And those devotees can rename yourself, where the name is coming like your mobile name, iPhone or Vivo, something like that. Go to the 3 dots and rename yourself. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sindu Mataji is joining, Prabhu. So
Yes, Prabhu.
she had some issues, but she's joining in a minute.
Yeah. No
and
worries.
yeah, meanwhile, would request all the devotees, like Prabhu said, so keep your videos on. So that is where you would get the maximum of this class, Bhagavad Gita class, dear devotees. And also keep a pen and paper so you can note down the key points. So if you happen to be out, that's fine. But otherwise, if you're at home or a place where you can switch on your video, would request all the devotees to keep it on. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Any devotee want to chant tomorrow? Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Any devotee want to chant tomorrow?
I think new devotees can
Yeah.
nominate themselves. Yeah, we can help if you have any hesitation, something. So we can certainly help you, dear devotees. So please do nominate yourself.
I would
So,
request though.
Mathaji, do you want to try?
No.
I'll do it later part. My kid usually is like
Yeah.
making some noise, so might not we might not do 108. He does some couple and then he starts his own. So
Got
yeah.
it, got it. No worries, Mathaji, I
No.
understand.
No worries,
So
dear
it's
devotees. Yes, Prabhu, go ahead.
no, I was just checking if anyone else would want, like Nalini Mataji, Vasanta Mataji, or anyone would like to do the chanting Mataji tomorrow. So do you, if any of you have a bead, so it's good, Mataji. So you can do it along with the bead.
No worries, dear devotees. Sindu Mataji
Shall I
has
do,
joined the class.
Prabhu? Shall I do tomorrow? Prabhu?
Shashikara Mataji, yes, Mataji. If there are no nominations
Uh-huh.
from the new group, you can continue, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let us welcome Sindu Mataji for explanation on the chapter 6, that is on the Dhyana-Yoga. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hathur Prabhu. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I'm extremely sorry. I'm late by 2 minutes or 10 minutes actually. Please excuse me. Without further ado, we will just get started on Dhyana-Yoga. Today we are going to go through chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita, which gives us more details about what is Dhyana-Yoga. Many of you must have heard in the market what this yoga is. There are millions and millions of acronyms and names for this yoga. But what is the true yoga? What is that? When we say yoga, what is it? And what is the perfection of yoga? We'll try to understand. So let's get started with the prayers. Please join with me and join your hands for the prayers. Om Agnanathimirantasya Gnananjashalakaya Chachurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srinivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Let's all bow down to our founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And our Shiksha Guru Suranath Prabhu and start this session today. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome once again to the study of Bhagavad Gita. We are going to go through chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita today. And before we do that, we will just go through or revise what we've already learned in the Karma Sannyasa Yoga, which is the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So we started off in the 3rd and the 4th. In the 3rd, we started learning a little bit of karma, how to perform karma. In the 4th, we ended saying that we can do the karma properly only when we have the transcendental knowledge. And yesterday, we did review what transcendental knowledge means. That means to know who I am, who the Lord, Supreme Lord is, and what is the relationship between me and the Supreme Lord. That is the transcendental knowledge. Once we get that transcendental knowledge, we can actually perform a karma we understood. Because knowing this knowledge enables us to be situated in a karma. And at the end of 4th chapter, Krishna says, surrender unto me and perform all your activities as a karma. In the sense, we should not think that a karma can be only done in the spiritual world when I have all the situations lined up for devotion. Currently living in this world also we can perform a karma, and that is the prelude for the next chapter we saw, which is chapter 5. And in chapter 5 we understood staying in this world, how to be a renunciant, true renunciant, right? And to do work as worship, that is to do a karma, even living in this material bhautika world, doing what you're doing already, but still it is transformed into bhakti. How is it done? We understood. And then we understood who are the three doers. Am I the doer? My purview ends when I desire for something. There are three doers. One is the jiva, which will desire for something, some attachment or some activity. Krishna looks at the karma credit for that jiva and sanctions that, and Prakriti implements that. So the jiva's thing is only it desires, it is not the doer. Who is the doer? It is a Prakriti or the material nature. We will learn more of how Prakriti becomes the doer, or what is composed of this material nature in further Dhyana-Yoga, where we learn about the three gunas which are driving us to do certain things the way we do, right? That is what we learned. And then Krishna talks about equal vision. One who has established himself in doing a karma, he comes to the second stage of realization. What was the first stage of realization? Brahman realization. To know that the Lord is like a supreme power, just a power, right, is a Brahman realization. And the second level of realization is Paramatman realization, that Krishna is there in everybody's heart, every living entity, not just humans. Whether it is an elephant, whether it is a tiger, whether it is an ant, Krishna lives in everybody. That is the equal vision. And people who have practiced Bhakti Yoga, when they come to the second stage, the Gnanis usually come to that stage, right? The Gnanis and the Yogis actually come to that stage. When the Gnanis come to that stage, when they look at another living entity, when they do pranam or namaskar, they actually are not doing it to the body, they are actually doing it to the Paramatma inside everybody, right? That equal vision will develop when we start in this bhakti path in the second level of realization. And that is very, very important, because the peace formula is dependent on that. What is the peace formula? There are 2 or 3 attributes to the peace formula. The first attribute is to understand Krishna is the Bhoktara or the proprietor of everything. Everything belongs to Krishna. That is the first statement. The second statement is to understand that everybody is coming part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is a controller and a maintainer. The third one is where you have an equivision to everybody. Right? Suhruda Sarvabhutanam. Krishna has that equivision to everybody. For Krishna, there is nobody who is very dear to Krishna or an enemy of Krishna. For Krishna, everybody is the same. When we start developing such mentality, then peace is established. Even if you're not able to practice immediately these 3 sutras, if you try and contemplate and understand, after the class also you're thinking, how is Krishna the Bhoktara? How is it that he is equal to everybody? He's impartial. It is very difficult for us to understand that Krishna is impartial, but actually he is very impartial. He is impartial to everybody. I mean, it is the same for everybody. And then the story, we saw the story, right? I gave you a story about the king who was trying to catch the thief and the thief who wanted to rob. Both of them are equal to Krishna. He had to satisfy both their needs, and he sacrifices himself for that. So that is our Krishna, right? And the third thing, to understand that everything is created and maintained by that Lord is also very important. So once you understand this, what happens? Any frustration, any losses in your life, it is not personal. It becomes, you're not alone in that. Any loss in your life or any calamity or any distress, why we feel the pain too much? Because we think we are alone. But when you think it all belongs to it, it is coming through Krishna. Krishna is aware of it. He is going to take care of me. I am part and parcel of Krishna. When you get that into that understanding, then the pain reduces. It automatically reduces because you have Krishna by your side. Sometimes we suffer in silence that I'm the only one, I don't know how to come out of that situation. This is going to help us. And that's why this 5.29 is a very, very important shloka. Prabhupada keeps quoting that shloka many times because the repetition makes us think. If you just say it once and leave it, you won't remember. We have to repeat it. We have to keep revising it, because when situations come, we should be reminded. How will you be reminded? Only when you revise it. And that's why it is many times repeated in many of the lectures of Prabhupada, and that's a very, very important shloka, and it gives a lot of peace. Even for a moment, if you try to understand that moment, peace is established. Okay, so that is what we understood. Today we are going to understand further how all this, who is that person who can perform all these things, right? A yogi is the one who can perform. And what is he practicing? A yogi is practicing the karma yoga, the dhyana yoga, and that we are going to understand in detail. Okay. And then Krishna also tells there is one person, one thing, material thing in this world, which can be either an enemy or a friend. We'll see who that material thing is, right? The first section talks about a material quality which will make you either go to higher limits of bhakti, or in material also higher limits, or which will take you down. What is that, right? And once you start controlling that, it's actually the mind. Once you start controlling the mind through this Ashtanga yoga, you're fixing your mind on the Lord, right? What is Ashtanga yoga? Many people have a misconception of what yoga is. Yoga, they think, is for bodily health, to keep yourself agile, to take care of BP, to take care of sugar. No, it is not. It may have side effects where your health gets improved, but the ultimate pinnacle of doing a yoga is to get connected to the Lord. And how do you get connected to the Lord? We will see that there are many steps how you can get connected to the Lord. And then we will see this yogi who's been practicing in one lifetime, he may be successful or he may be a failure, because there is, if you climb the steps of the Dhyana Yoga, there are 7 or 8 steps. What happens if you fail in the third step? Right? 8th step is perfection, but you fell down at the 3rd step. Then what happens to such a person is a question from Arjuna, which is a common question we would have. We've given up so much of our life to doing this Dhyana Yoga. What if I don't pass? That question, that doubt will come in all of us. And then finally, a yogi. Who is a yogi? And Krishna is going to define who a yogi is, and how he is the person who is close to Krishna. Why is he close to Krishna? Because he's striving hard to make connection to Krishna. We will see that in a minute. So first thing we are going to understand is the acronym for today, which is called as EASY. What is EASY? E stands for enemy or a friend. A, Ashtanga Yoga. S is success or failure. Y is yogi. Now, the first shloka itself, Arjuna is asking, the Krishna is saying that the mind is, the best thing. If you get control of the mind, it will take you to higher limits. Otherwise, it's going to take you to the lower limits. Okay. Bandhur atma atmanastasya enatma iva atmanajita anatmanastatu shatrutve vartate atmaiva shatruvat. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of the friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain as the greatest enemy. See, we think the enemy for us is outside, but actually the enemy is internal to all of us, right? Enemy is within us only. We keep blaming the society, sometimes the culture we are in, or people around us, thinking because of them we failed. Actually, we failed because of our own mind. and it is very subtle, and it will drag you to the limits. Even though you don't want it, it will tempt you and drag you. And Krishna here is going to tell us, he is going to give us a formula how you can, control that mind, right? How you can control that mind, he is going to quickly tell us. So first he is establishing that the mind is a cause of failure or success. It is your friend or your enemy. It's the same mind. You can, how Prabhupada explains this, this is very beautiful. He says the electricity flowing, right? You can use that electricity to actually, for a microwave to make things hot. The same electricity can be used for a refrigerator to make things cool. It is the same electricity, isn't it? How you use it depends on you. If you use it to make your mind agitated and hot, it is up to you. Or if you want to keep it cool and composed and find happiness in your life, it is up to you. So that is how we have to understand that analogy of electricity. It kind of establishes the truth, how we can use the same mind to make it our friend, to establish peace in our life. Okay, then next. Okay, when when our mind is our friend, what are all the things, benefits we get from that? It follows your direction. See, all of us are in this material world. We have too many things going on, right? And if you don't plan well, it is very difficult. So when you put a plan in place and your mind is executing that plan, all things will happen correctly. But if your mind says, hey, why you have to do all this? Give up all this. Let's go and enjoy. After enjoying, when you come back, it will say why you didn't do also. It will blame you for not doing also. And then you'll become agitated and frustrated, and then you'll start shouting at everybody because you are not able to do what you wanted to do. Instead, you did what was not required. And the mind will make you the culprit, and it will say, hey, you wasted your time. Hey, you are not good enough. It will start, degrading our intelligence. So we should not let it do that. We should actually train our mind to follow our instructions. Okay. And progressive and healthy choices. Instead of, sitting and watching television on the couch, you tell the mind, hey, you know what, maybe you just take a 10-minute walk and then you can watch TV, right? That is a way to train the mind. You keep telling the mind to do something progressive. It won't listen. In the beginning, it is very difficult, but you keep training the mind. Being detached from sense gratification, right? What is a sense gratification? The sense gratification is coming through all your other senses. Let's eat a lot of ice cream today. Let's not get out of bed at all today. Let's just lie on the bed only. Let's not, we worked very hard for 5 days, 6 days. Let's just relax today. No doing any work, right? No taking a bath also. Let's just lie down. So all these things are sense gratification, which will make you lazy, which will make you take you in passion mode. Let's just go and cheat day, right? People have a cheat day where they do whatever they want. All that is the mind playing the trick, right? So we have to bring it back. We should say, you know what? If your mind is your friend, it is, you've trained your mind to listen to you, then it will detach from it. The minute you let it loose, it will become your enemy. It will start controlling you. That you should not let. Result is freedom and elevation. See, in the beginning, it is a very hard thing to control the mind. But once you are in the form, the mind is in form and it is listening to you, when you start checking off all the things that you wanted to do, automatically your mood will be elevated, your consciousness will be elevated. Bhakti is also like that only. Material and bhakti go hand in hand. If you're able to do that materially, then you'll also be, or actually, if you're able to do that spiritually, in the material also you will succeed. If you tell your mind to chant and it listens to you and chants for 5 minutes, material also you will be able to control. Now it is a time to cook. I finished my spiritual thing. Now I want to cook some bhoga for Krishna and my children. I want to cook something nice. Before, you would just sit in the front of the TV and watch, or just go out with your friends, or do something where you just want to put away cooking, right? But now when you ask the mind to chant, you are in a good mood because you checked it. Now you can cook also. So spiritually, when you start enhancing your mind, it has an impact and on your material also. And mind is something which you can't see, but it has a lot of effect on a person. It has lots of effects, right? You don't need any therapy, anything. Spirituality will help you come out of whatever your mind is doing. It will help you come out.
Now. Then give me the plate.
When our mind becomes our enemy, follows sinful desires like lust, anger, and greed. Little bit, if you give it chance, it'll play the trick on you. It'll start telling everything it sees, it'll start telling you so that you get all that lusty behavior, or you'll get very angry when things don't go your way. The greed, hey, why we should have this, right? It'll start playing all those tricks because you're listening to your mind. But say to the mind, just keep quiet. Once you say to the mind, just keep quiet, that is not like that. It'll come in another angle again. See, it'll know all your loopholes and your weaknesses. It'll come in another angle. It'll say, oh, you're looking so good. Then it'll come. Maybe if you had that necklace, you would have looked better. It's very, very smart. Mind is very smart. It knows all your weaknesses. And then it'll cause lot of irritation, agitation, and misguide it. If you don't control it, and if you don't get detached from the sense gratification, it will agitate you. And there is no way. All of us are in this. All of us, including me, I'm also in this. It is very tough, but we have to keep trying. We have to keep trying. Attached to sense gratification, whatever you see, you want to acquire it. The minute whatever you see, if you want to acquire is, you'll spend a lot of energy figuring out how to acquire it. And when you don't have enough money to acquire it, then agitation starts, irritation starts. And then your family is not good enough because they are not allowing you to buy, or they are not supporting you in that activity. So everywhere you'll feel a loss, right? Everywhere there is a discord. There is no proper relationship. Then next is, what is the result? Entanglement and degradation, because Krishna wants to satisfy all your desires. If you have a desire in this, you look at a car, and if you keep thinking of the car, even though you don't buy the car in this Janma, Krishna will give you situations where you can acquire those credits in the next millions of Janmas, then you will be able to buy a car. And that time, the millionth plus one, Janma, when you buy a car, you won't be interested in that car. That is what is happening to all of us. We have so much. Why do we have so much in our life? Because some millions of Janma, we wanted it, and we had to acquire credit for that. Now that it is in front of us, we don't want this. We want something else. Now again, millions of Janma, we have to work very hard to acquire those positive credit or pious credit. Then Krishna will give us. When he gives us, we don't like that. We want something else, right? So this entanglement and degradation is going on happening. So we have to come out of it, because this is never satisfying. You think, okay, after acquiring that, I'll be happy. No, you will not be happy. Because mind will say, oh, this is not correct, let's have something else. I have a diamond necklace, diamond is not good. I have a BMW car, no, BMW is not good. Now it is a new car, now it is a new jewelry, now it is a new thing, right? Everywhere it is the same story. And in our Gaudiya Sampradaya, there are many acharyas, and one of the acharyas says, take a slipper and hit your mind 100 times in the morning and 100 times in the night. Only then it will come to the right way. If you let loose, right, it will take you to a ride. That is what this means. Okay. Now Krishna gives in the analogy of the Bhagavad Gita, we will see where the mind is placed. Okay. Here the body is the chariot. The chariot is the body. Arjuna is the Jiva Tattva or the Atma. Okay. And Krishna is the intelligence. Krishna becomes the intelligent, the chariot rider. The reins of the horses is the mind. The reins which is pulling, the intelligence is pulling. Krishna is pulling the string. that Krishna is intelligence and the mind is a string. So we have to make our intelligence strong. And how do we make it strong? By transcendental knowledge. And what is transcendental knowledge? All of you know by now. Yesterday also we revised that. So ultimately, mind has to be controlled. How do you control your mind? Make your intelligence strong. Make Krishna strong in your life. And how do I make that? By acquiring gnana or transcendental knowledge. Why transcendental knowledge? When the mind plays the trick on you, intelligence will come and stand in front of it and it will give one Bhagavad Gita shloka. It will say, in the shloka it is said that what you're saying is incorrect. I believe the Shastra. I don't believe you, O mind. Right? So it'll give you situations and intelligence will bring forth all the knowledge it has acquired as a debate. There is always a battle between intelligence and mind in our consciousness. The consciousness is always battling between intelligence and mind, and we have to make intelligence strong so that it can always win. In the beginning, it won't win. It will bring one or two arguments and the mind will overpower that. But continue that process. One day or the other, it will smash the mind down and you'll be able to do what you are supposed to do instead of doing what you're not supposed to do. And what is the senses? The horses are the senses. I told you previously also, all these 5 fingers are the senses. This is the mind. The mind, the palm here can control this, right? It can control. Can the finger control this? No, it cannot. These 5 fingers can not control the palm. The palm, if I want to move this, I can move. The palm can move it. So here the senses are the fingers and the mind is a palm. The mind is the controller of all the senses. Okay. That is how we have to understand and how we can control. Now we are coming to the second section of this chapter. What is Ashtanga Yoga? See, the actual yoga, the true yoga was being performed in Satya Yuga, where they had lot of life, right? They used to live 10,000 years, 1 million years. They used to live for a longer time those days. Now it is, take out 110. Now we are 100 years, right? In Treta Yuga, in Dwapara Yuga, it was 1,000 years. In Treta Yuga, it was 10,000 years. And in Satya Yuga, it was 1 lakh years. They used to live for 1 lakh years. So they could do the tapasya, they could meditate, because this Ashtanga Yoga takes a long time to perfect. So they had the time and they had the ability to control the senses. In Kali Yuga, we don't have that. We don't have that luxury. Neither does my body support, because I can live, although we say we live 100 years, there is not many people who've lived till 100 years. We can count on fingertips how many people have lived till 100 years. So our age is less and our body is does not have the capability. Our mind, even more less capability we have to perfect the Dhyana Yoga. This Ashtanga. Okay, so what does it Dhyana Yoga entail? Dhyana Yoga, it is not a paranormal activity, nor is it a physical exercise or an acrobat. Is it a great austerity of the body where you can lift your body, do that? Is that the perfection of yoga? No. Yoga means the connection with the Lord. And how do we establish the connection? By jumping 10 times, can you establish the connection to the Lord? Or by sitting straight like this, can you establish? No, that is a way it is not interpreted correctly. So this, first of all, this yoga is not for Kali Yuga. Ashtanga Yoga is not for Kali Yuga. It was perfected only in Satya Yuga. Each yuga has a yuga dharma. Okay, each yuga has a yuga dharma. First it was meditation. In that Ashtanga Yoga, Satya Yuga was all about meditation. Then came our Treta Yuga. Then it was performing yagnas. They used to perform with perfection. Then came the Dwapara Yuga, where they used to go to the temples, build temples, go to the temples. All these 3 cannot be performed to perfection in Kali Yuga. The only thing that we can perform in Kali Yuga is a Nama Sankirtan. Through Nama Sankirtan, we can do Bhakti. Okay, because we are not eligible, our body doesn't support, the environment doesn't support, the situation we are in doesn't support any of the 3 other yoga dharmas. So that is how we have to understand. Now we will see that today yoga has become a fashion, right? There are different kinds of yogas. Hatha yoga, hot yoga, cold yoga, teen yoga, yoga for pregnant women, yoga to burn your fat, all those things have come. I'm not saying it is not helpful. That is a side effect. But the perfection of yoga is to be one with the Lord, to understand, to be in the, in connection with the Lord all the time, which is not happening today. We are misusing, or we are just looking at the byproduct of yoga and trying to use that and think that is the perfection of yoga. Now, I told you previously there are 8 different steps in yoga. We'll quickly understand what that is. We don't have to remember or we don't have to practice this, but we should just know. Yamas means what you have to do. You have to get up in the morning. You should be very clean. You should do this. You should do all the do's will come. External practices, right? External practices which will support the Ashtanga Yoga. Niyama means the internal, the don'ts. You shouldn't eat this. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't. The don'ts will come. Okay, the do's and the don'ts. Yamas means do's. Niyama means don't do this. Don't do that. Okay. Asana means the perfection of sitting in a posture, right? Sitting in the right posture. Pranayama means breathing. You're going to concentrate and perfect your breathing. How are you going to perfect your breathing? It is said that you will be able to control the 5 life forces within your body. Okay, through pranayama, you'll be able to control, you will be able to raise your chakras. There are some chakras in our body, you can raise those chakras. Okay. Pratyahara means you have pulled all your senses. When you sit for Ashtanga Yoga, when you do this yama, see, you have to perfect these yamas and niyamas to go to the next step. It is not like all can be performed at once. No, you have to become perfect in yama, then you progress to niyama. When you perfect in niyama, then you go to asana. When you perfect in asana, then you do pranayama where you are controlling the life air and concentrating on the life air. Once you have perfected this, doing all this, you have to come to a stage where you're pulling your senses inside. Okay, you're not letting go of the senses. What is letting go of the senses? The eyes cannot be let out to see sense objects. Ears cannot be let out to hear and all the other sensory things. And the tongue should also be controlled. From top to bottom, everything you're controlling and pulling it back, concentrating it and holding it. That concentration in the beginning, it is fluctuating. It will come, it will go, it will come, it will go. Then once that becomes a steady flow, then you're in dharana, where it is uninterrupted. Here it is interrupted, here it becomes uninterrupted. You can sit like 1 hour, 2 hours, just like that in dharana. Okay, and then you start concentrating on the Lord. Okay, meditative absorption, you start concentrating and thinking of the Lord. Again, here also that concentration, see, you're concentrating here. When you're concentrating on the Lord, you're welcoming the Lord into your heart. Again, that is also fluctuating. Here you are pulling your senses, making your mind calm, but it'll go, it'll come back, it'll go, it'll come back in pratyahara. Dharana, it is steady. You've controlled all your senses. You are very peace. Okay. Dhyana, you're starting to think about the Lord, but thinking of the Lord, it is suddenly it'll go away. It'll come back. It'll go away. It'll come back. Samadhi is you've completely, that thread between you and the Lord is strong. It's not getting broken. Here it is getting broken and you're re-establishing. So those are the steps. And here after one step only you can progress to the next step. That is how we have to understand. Okay. Now we'll quickly see. Yama means the do's, the positive reinforcement, right? Get up, keep yourself clean, then read positive thinking books, read about the Lord, like all the do's. Niyama means don't do this, don't smoke, don't drink, right? No illicit sex, all that you will see. Asana means controlling the body, right? Exercising, controlling the posture. If you have to sit like this for hours together, you can imagine. This itself, it is said in the yoga system, it takes 12 years for one to perfect the sitting position. Okay. If you want to do it correctly, it takes 12 years. So imagine how quickly can we reach all these positions. It's impossible for us to do. Pranayama means you're controlling your breathing, and when you're controlling the breathing, you can control the inner pranas. There are 5 pranavayus and you're able to control that, move it around, raise it up, bring it down, right? Dara, Udara, there is so many ways. If it goes left, right, top, bottom, all that is there. You'll be able to control all that. Pratyahara means you have pulled all your senses are in your control now. Dharana means controlling the mind. This mind, it goes, it comes, it goes, it comes. Here also it is not complete. At this point, it becomes complete. It is like, it has started to focus on the Lord. Here you are just trying to control it. There is no Lord yet. You are just preparing the landscape here. Here you are able to invite the Lord into your meditation. And at this point, complete, it is like a strong rope between you and the Lord. Here it is still fluctuating. You're going, the thread is too thin and it is breaking. It is breaking. But here it is a strong rope. That is a complete absorption. Okay. Can anyone do yoga? It is very difficult because you have to have all these steps: unagitated mind, no material desires. Even though there is a nice movie going on in front of you, you are in dhyana, you cannot give up that. Or if there is gulab jamun next to you, you can't eat it. Okay, you have to concentrate. That is how this is. Complete celibacy. Then lamp in windless place. How you have to be means you have to be very strong, dridhavrita, strong. Even though there is lot of chaos and everything, you are still focused on that, and it's very difficult. You should be like a lamp in the windless place means you should control outside things and all. Whatever is happening, you're controlling the senses so much that there is windless, there is no agitation in the mind. Like that you have to control. And regulated habits. One day if you miss, it's gone. You have to start from beginning, because if you miss one day and you come back to your original taste, right, then you have to start all over again, because it's very difficult to continue from that past that day. So it is very, very difficult for everyone to perform that. So Arjuna says, oh, this is mission impossible, oh Krishna. He says, Yoyam yogastvaya prokta samena madhusudana एतस्याहं न पश्यामि चञ्चलत्वत् स्थितिं स्थिरम्. Arjuna said, oh Madhusudana, the system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical and endurable to me, for the mind is restless and unsteady. So Arjuna is talking on behalf of us, and he is saying, oh, whatever you are saying you cannot do. He says Madhusudana. Madhu means it's a demon, and Krishna took care of. See, wherever you see different names of Krishna or Arjuna, there'll be a significance for that. Here it is Madhusudana. He's saying, I have a doubt. A doubt is like a demon. So please, like the demon, you took care of that demon, the doubt-like demon, please help me, kill that doubt in me. To refer to that, he says Madhusudana here. And he says, oh, whatever you are saying is impossible. I cannot do it, It is impossible for me to do it because the mind is very, very restless. And he will give an example on the next shloka. How difficult it is, he will tell here. चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्णा प्रमाति बलवदृढं तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये वायुरेवासु दुष्कृक्रम्. The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, O Krishna. And to subdue it, I think it is more difficult than controlling the wind. So here there is a reference given to controlling the wind. Why is it given? Because Arjuna was able to control the wind. He says, I can control the wind, but I can't control the mind. Mind is more powerful than the wind. That is what to say. And a Maharatha like Arjuna and a great devotee, he himself is saying it is very difficult to control the mind. So imagine all of us, right? We are nowhere. And he is able to control the wind. He's so balavad, he's so strong, but he's still not able to control. And he says, Pramati, this mind is very strong, stubborn, and agitated all the time. Chanchalam, it is fluctuating all the time. It is never constant, right? Even you can see, even if you are very, very happy also, on cloud 9, you're also, it is flickering. Mind is always flickering, right? It will always raise a doubt. Oh, you're so happy right now. What if somebody takes away this? Will your happiness, how do I protect this so that nobody can take it up? So there are so many things running. Why? You're very attached to that result. You're very attached to that bhogavancha. Bhogavancha means you're so attached to that desire that you want to protect. First of all, to acquire that, you are agitated. Once you acquire, you want to preserve and protect it, and then you are agitated. So that is how this flickering mind is. Obstinate and strong, it clings to all the attachment. The mind is so clinging to attachments. It is desire, in a way it is desire, right? It cannot come out of that thought only. Although some calamity or something has happened, you think some friends of yours, your family members will come and say, it's okay, don't worry, you know, we have an action step, we'll take care. Still the mind won't let you live in peace. It will go on playing hundreds and millions of scenarios in front of you, although you have an action plan. Isn't it? That is how strong the mind is. And then it is turbulent. It has no boundaries. It can break. There are no walls or boundaries for the mind. It can break through all, and it can control you, or it can agitate you. Nobody does. It doesn't ask your permission. It sneaks up. Even though you try to ignore it and say no, it'll keep coming back. You say no to it, it'll find another loophole to come, right? That is how the mind is. How to control the mind? Now Krishna is going to give us a formula. What is that formula? Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Asamshayam Mahabhaho Mano Durnigrama Chalam Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihet. Lord Shri Krishna said, O mighty Arjuna, Mahabaho. See, Mahabaho he refers, for that it is mighty Arjuna or mighty armed Arjuna or son of Kunti. See, there are two references given here. Why? Mahabaho means he is a Atirata, he is a strong Kshatriya. So he's saying you're a strong Kshatriya, you can do it, to emphasize his background and his power, saying he is encouraging, saying you can do it, you know, because your background is like that, he says. And son of Kunti, you have a very good parentage. You are Kunti Maharani's son, right? And Kunti is a very elevated person, and you come in that parentage. So don't worry, you can do it. To encourage him, he uses these words. It is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. He gives two formulas here. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena. Vairagya is detachment, abhyasa is practice. Through practice, through practicing detachment, you will be able to. And even that is very difficult, but we have to keep trying. We have to keep trying. One day it will become, part of us. And what do we practice? We practice the 9 processes of bhakti. Because here, why are we controlling the mind? We are controlling the mind to make connection to Krishna. And the only way to make connection to Krishna is to do bhakti. And how do we do bhakti? By hearing and chanting. The more you hear about Krishna, Krishna Katha, this is a song of the Lord. So you're hearing what Krishna said, right? Or you're, understanding why Krishna came, what he did, his activities, and his leelas. You're trying to understand all those things. Everything that is related to Krishna. To reach Krishna, we have to hold on to Krishna only. The process is also Krishna only, and the ultimate goal also is Krishna only. Okay. And detachment, vairagya. How do you practice that vairagya? Detaching the mind from activities not related to Krishna. Why is that? See, when you think of things which are not related to Krishna, it is material, it has a binding effect. We know that. But once you change your mind to doing things for Krishna, that is a true renunciation, I told you. So we have to practice renunciation. How do we practice renunciation? By doing things which are favorable to Krishna and doing it for Krishna and not for ourselves. If there is anything where Krishna is not there, we slowly start avoiding those. Okay, we slowly start. How do you do that? For example, if you want to go out, to some party or something, just avoid that for once and go to the temple, right? Just avoid that for once and go to the temple. Slowly we have to. Or first go to the temple and then go. You will not enjoy. If you go to the temple first and then go to that party, you won't enjoy the party, because that purity and the happiness you found in the temple, you will not find the same thing. You will start contrasting, the mind will start contrasting it. So slowly we have to change. One day overnight we cannot change it. It does not happen like that, but little by little we have to start throttling it. We have to start fine tuning our life activities to do more of Krishna's activities. Now, I told you earlier only, Arjuna is asking this question: what if I'm not successful in this yoga process to reach you? What happens to me? Let's see what Krishna says. Prapya punyakritam lokan yushitva shashvati samaha suchinam shrimatam gehe yoga brashto abhijayate. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. What is Krishna saying here? Krishna is saying here, saying that if a person is practicing this yoga system, trying to make connection to me by doing all the detachment, pranayama, pratyahara, everything, and he falls down. Say he is in the dharana stage and he falls down, or he is in the niyama, the second stage, and he falls down. What happens to him? Because he did put a lot of effort, because there is an eligibility, big list of eligibility criteria even to do that yoga. He did so much of austerities to do that one step of yoga to reach Krishna. Krishna reciprocates. What does Krishna do? They will get a heavenly planet where they will live for a long time and they will enjoy. After that, they will get Suchi Nam Srimatam. Suchi Nam Srimatam means, where is Suchi? Where there are devotees in the Brahmana family. You will be born in a Brahmana family, or Srimatam. That means you will be born in a very aristocratic family. So there is no loss. Arjuna is saying, Krishna is saying to Arjuna, there is no loss. Even if you fall down in the next janma, you will get Suchinam Srimatam. Why? So that you can continue the journey of bhakti. The true bhakti, the true yoga I'm talking about, not the hatha yoga or the hot yoga that we do today. This is the yoga where you're trying to reach Ashtanga yoga, you're trying to reach Krishna. When in the process of doing that, if you fall, Krishna is very merciful. He wants you to continue that journey. So he gives you an association of a Brahmana family where from the beginning only bhakti is there and you can continue your journey. Or he gives you a Srimatam where everything is there. You don't have to work very hard to take care of your life, and you have enough money and time to concentrate on bhakti. Today, most of us who are in this world are working very hard to make ends meet, isn't it? But we continue in that. Even if we are not successful, Krishna is saying, this is a bhakti yoga only. This yoga, what we are doing in ISKCON, or what we are trying to see in the Krishna consciousness, is it has Ashtanga yoga built in it. How? Because we have the do's, don'ts, everything. In this journey, if I fail, right? In this journey, if I fail, Krishna is very merciful. He will give us a chance. He will put us in a very good situation. In the future shlokas, you will see a person who is not doing these things and trying to enjoy and having a demon-like mentality. They will be put in a womb of a beast. They will be put in a womb of a demon, right? And they will be surrounded by them, and that influence will be so much, again they will degrade further. They will never get a chance to be in association of Krishna or devotees of Krishna. Krishna says it takes Krishna gives up to certain extent. He will not be able to enable them to come back to bhakti for a long time, he says. So here also, here it is, bhakti is so good that even if you're not successful, you're successful. Because see, we don't know what we are going to get into in the next janma, isn't it? All of us today, we may be living a very nice life, but we don't know what is there in the future in this life. So imagine in the next life what will happen to us. And by now all of you must know that we are not going to die. The Atma is not going to die. The journey will continue. But where and what situation we'll continue is also very important. So even if you feel that, I can't reach the pinnacle, it's okay, continue, because Krishna will hold your hand and put you in a very, very nice position. He will take you out of this misery. Whatever pains and sufferings we are going through today, he will take us out of that and give us a higher position so that we can continue the journey. Right? He's an enabler. That is what happens. Let's quickly read this. What happens to those yogis who could not become successful? That is what it is. Then the last thing, he will explain the characteristics of a yogi. Who is a yogi? तपस्विभ्यो अधिको योगी ज्ञानिभ्यो अपि मतो अधिकः कर्मिभ्यश्च अधिको योगी तस्माद् योगी भवार्जुन. A yogi is greater than the ascetic, greater than the empress, and greater than the fruitative worker. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances, be a yogi. What is he saying? So all these people who perform, siddhis, there are many people even in this world who have perfected the siddhis. What are the siddhis? They can become lighter than air, they can become heavier than mountain, they can stretch their hand. There are 8 siddhis. When they practice a lot of austerities to get that siddhi. Yogi is much better than that, Krishna is saying. Why? These siddhis, what happens? It's there only in this life, in this material life. After that, they will be put in some place, right? It doesn't continue. The journey doesn't continue for a siddhas. Then emperors, people who keep speculating, that is this, all these great scientists and great thinkers, right? They give you so much of hypothesis and assumptions. They also won't continue. You are a PhD in this Janma with 4 PhDs, but that PhD will not continue in the next Janma. And in that PhD, what you did is not the perfection of life also. Are you happy with that? No, you cannot be happy with that. Because it is not transcendental knowledge. It is not related to the Lord. You are trying to make paper out of something, do this, do that. You're trying to discover what Krishna has already given us. There's no point in doing that. Maybe, yeah, you are making your life comfortable to a certain extent. But what is the benefit for a person who is an empress, who is that PhD? No use. Greater than a fruitative worker. What is a fruitative worker? He is, now I have 4 houses. Next year, in 2 years, I have to work very hard and buy another house. What is the use of that? All those 5 houses will not come with you into the next Janma, or when you need help, when you're dying, it doesn't come. You can pay the doctors how much ever you want, sell all the 5 houses and give the doctor the money. Can you get rid of death? Can you get rid of the pain that you will go through in death? No, you can't. Then what is the use? I mean, you should have, you should be in a proper state. Not that, oh, Mathaji said, oh, no houses, let's give up. No, do, but don't overdo that. You're spending most of your time in that and forgetting Krishna. See, if you don't have a place to sit and do japa, that is also not good. You should have one proper place where you can comfortably, you and the family can do japa. For that much you have to work. Where you can put Krishna's, murti. You need that much place at least. Yes, you have to work. Krishna will not have freely hand it over to you. Yeah, take the keys to the apartment, you said. No, you have to work for that. But don't work so much that becomes the aim of your life, is what Krishna is saying here. Okay. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances, be a yogi. What is a yogi? He is always working very hard to make a connection to the Lord. And this is not the yogi of the yoga that we practice in today's world. It is trying to make that connection through bhakti. Bhakti yoga is what Krishna is preluding to. The next section is Bhakti Yoga, and he's paving the path to that. He completed the Karma Yoga and the Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga, yes, it is perfect for Satya Yoga, not for our yoga, right? And that what are they trying to do in that yoga system of Ashtanga Yoga and Satya Yoga? They were able to establish the connection to Krishna, but that cannot be performed in this life. We have to add bhakti to it, and we will be able to. The same do's, niyama, nigraha, all that we will be able to do in Krishna consciousness, in Bhakti Yoga. Don't do illicit sex, don't eat meat, don't drink, don't smoke, right? Don't cheat. All this we have. And what are the do's? Get up in the morning, do Mangalarati, chant 5 rounds, chant 10 rounds, whatever chanting you're doing, prepare boga for Krishna, hear to the Harikatha. All this. So it is the same thing, but it is being fixed in Bhakti Yoga. Instead of Ashtanga Yoga, all those things will come. The same principles will come in Bhakti Yoga. And Krishna is saying you have to establish yourself in that, because that is very successful. Even though you're not successful, you are successful, because it will give you a better life where you can continue that journey. All the others, aesthetic, which is being a Siddha, or being a PhD of this world, or having many material accomplishments, that will end, and there is no guarantee till you'll get another chance also in the next Janma. Because you had 5 houses, you will not get a chance to become a Bhakta in the next life. No, you can't. Right? Now that you have a chance, do all that. I'm not saying don't do PhD. Prabhupada was a proponent of us studying whatever circumstances and situation, study, but don't make that our life aim as something else. So you have to see what our life aim is, right? That we should understand. Now the yoga ladder. What is a yoga ladder? There are different yoga ladders. The first we start with the karma yoga. That means doing all the activities as yoga in connection to the Lord, giving up everything to the Lord. The results of our activities are doing the activities for the Lord. Gnana yoga. What is Gnana yoga? We acquire knowledge. What kind of knowledge? Transcendental knowledge. All that we are doing is we are trying to reach the Lord. Dhyana yoga. We are sitting and doing dhyana so that we can touch the Lord. We can make a connection to the Lord. What is Bhakti Yoga? Again, it is a connection to the Lord. All these 3 yogas end up in Bhakti Yoga. Perfection of Karma Yoga should start. Then after perfecting Karma Yoga, then you go to Gnana Yoga. You perfect that. Then you go to Dhyana Yoga. You perfect that. Then you come to Bhakti Yoga. In ISKCON, in Krishna consciousness, we jump. Prabhupada has given us an elevator. We will directly take the Bhakti Yoga. You don't have to go through step by step. Many people think that I have to be perfect in karma, then I will do dhyana, then I will do dhyana. Millions and millions of janmas I will spend here, then I will perfect and then go here. No, not required. Prabhupada has given us an elevator here. We press the button to Bhakti Yoga. We are going straight to Bhakti Yoga, which is Bhakti Yoga is our starting point. For these people, it is after 3 staircases they are coming. Okay, and it is very difficult to establish and be perfect in all these things is very difficult, right? And there is a chance of falling down also. So we have to be, why not take Bhakti Yoga straight away, right? It is very easy and it is a slow progression. You can do it. It's a slow progression. Instead, come to Bhakti Yoga directly. Then topmost yogi. Yoginam api sarvesham madgat antara atmana shraddhavan bhajate yoma same yukta tamo mataha. And of all the yogis, the one with great faith who abides, always abides in me, thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me, he is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. So in the previous ladder, who is the best? Arjuna asks, who is the best yogi? There are so many people practicing different yoga systems. Who is the best? And here Krishna says, the one who is always thinking of me, who has great faith in me, and who works for me, right? And he renders loving service. What is loving service? What is bhakti? Bhakti is nothing but love for Krishna. Bhakti, another word for bhakti is love. Another word for bhakti is devotional service. When you love somebody, our Suranath Prabhu always gives this example. When you love somebody, if you keep telling, I love you in the morning, I love you in the afternoon, I love you in the evening, you keep saying that. The other person will say, okay, enough of saying I love you. Will you do something? It's a conversation between a husband and wife, and it's very funny. And the wife is always saying, I love you, I love you, I love you to the husband. Husband at one point is so tired, he says, I know you love me. Can you make some breakfast for me? Just saying I love you, no. With that love only make breakfast, you've not made anything, he says. So we have to show our love. How do we show our love? When we do something for the other person. And that's why it is called devotional service, loving service. Bhakti is nothing but loving service. When you love that person, See, initially when we do Mangalarati and chanting and everything, we do out of compulsion. Over a period of time, we understand we love Krishna and we do it, right? And that's why it is called devotional service or loving service. And that's what Krishna is saying here. One who gives that service to me, who's always thinking of me and trying to see how I can please the Lord today, what new thing I can do for the Lord today, who is doing all that. They are so close to me, they are intimate to me in yoga, and I am close to them. That is a perfection of yoga, Krishna says, and that is my opinion. That's what he says. So today we will quickly review the Dhyana-Yoga that we did. So the first section was enemy or a friend. Who is an enemy? Who is a friend? It's the mind. Mind can behave as an enemy or as a friend. When it becomes a friend, it follows instructions. There is progression in life and there is detachment to sense gratification. And the ultimate result is, see, we think we are all free today. We are actually not. The actual freedom comes once you establish yourself in bhakti, because you don't care about anything. When I say you don't care about anything, it is not caring about children, wife, husband, friends and everything. It is caring about the situations you are in. Whatever terrible situation you are in, you will not get impacted by that. Okay, that is the end result, end goal. When your mind becomes your friend. Why? Because you're training your mind to do bhakti, to be in connection with Krishna. The minute you are able to do that, there is absolute freedom. The more you engage in devotional service, and 2 classes ago we read that, right? The more, or yesterday's class we read that, the more you engage in devotional service, the clutches will be removed. It will become like this. Today we are all in clutches. Okay, all of us are chained. The chain becomes loose, loose, loose. The sheep tied to the tree, you saw that, right? Krishna, when you do more service, that the thread which is tying that sheep or goat, it becomes longer and longer. Freedom is given to you. But if you don't perform bhakti, you're held tight and you'll get more and more bad situations. Right? That is what it is. Mind as enemy. It does not, it will take you to the ground. It will pull you to the ground. What does it do? It'll ask you to do all sinful activities. You're always agitated and frustrated, lot of attachment to sense gratification. The minute you're attached to sense gratification, one after another, it will degrade you and entangle you. You want that also, you want this also, you want this also, then where is peace, right? Ashtanga Yoga, 8 limbs, and it's very practical, right? How you can do that Ashtanga Yoga. It is not for exercising. The same thing can be established in bhakti, and we will see how in the next few chapters. Success or failure, whether you fail or success. Success means good, you're going to Krishna. Then you're completely delivered, right? You're liberated. But what happens if you fail? Krishna says, don't worry, because they will be born in Srimat Suchim Gehe. Suchim Srimat Gehe. You will be born in a Brahmana devotee family, or you'll be born in a aristocratic family. That way you will be able to continue your journey of bhakti. Among all these yoga ladder, we saw different the karma yoga, dhyana yoga, jnana yoga, and bhakti yoga. Which is better? Which yoga system is better? Which system is better? He's asking. Arjuna is asking Krishna. Krishna says, yogi is better. Being a bhakta is better. Yogi means a bhakta. Bhakta is the one who thinks of the Lord all the time. Anytime if you look at a devotee, they're always seeing how to serve the Lord and keep him happy. Or the spiritual master, or in association with other devotees, they're always listening, chanting, talking about Krishna, or cooking bhoga or cleaning the temple. Every activity is to please Krishna, and such a person becomes very dear to Krishna. Krishna says they are very intimate to me, and that's why he likes them. And he says, of all the 4 paths, this is the best path because it gives me a lot of happiness and they are very close to my heart. So that ends today's chapter. We'll see what is there for the next section. Next section is very, very beautiful. Please do not miss it. It is Bhakti Yoga. We'll start Bhakti Yoga from tomorrow. And what are the 4 sections in Bhakti Yoga? Now Krishna is going to say yogis are very good. I told you, right? And how to become a yogi? The first step to become a yogi or a bhakta is to hear more. Takshrunu, he says, hear better, hear more. And then he says everywhere and essence. That means Krishna is going to establish slowly, slowly, he's going to open and reveal himself in the next few chapters. He's going to tell how he is everywhere and everything is dependent on him. He is the essence of all existence. That is what he is going to say. And then there are 4 people who accept Krishna and 4 people who don't accept Krishna. When I say 4 people, 4 categories. There are 4 categories of people who accept Krishna, 4 categories who don't accept Krishna. And Krishna is going to explain that. And Arjuna asks, okay, what happens to the people who surrender to Devatas? What is their ultimate destination? What happens to them? And that is what Krishna is going to explain in the next chapter, which is chapter 7. Let's all chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shranvata sva kata Krishna punya shravana kirtana hridayahanta stohi abhadrani vidunoti suhrudat satam. This is a very, very, very beautiful shloka from Bhagavatam. It talks about bhakti. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desires for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. So, what is Krishna's Shrinvatam? Shrinvatam means to hear. Swakata Krishna. What are you hearing? Krishna Kata. Punya Shravana Kirtana. It is so magnanimous. It is so purifying. Hridayanta. In your heart, there is lusty desires, right? And which bring ill results. Abhadrani. It is not so good. Vidunoti Suhrudat Satam. Vidunoti means it will wash. It will cleanse your heart. This Krishna Katha is going to cleanse your heart and it will establish Suhrud. It will establish peace. It will establish the love for Godhead. What happens on hearing? The effect of hearing is given here. What is that effect of hearing? Vidunoti, right? It is cleansing your heart and it is making your heart very happy. How will it make it happy? Because it's going to establish Sri Krishna in your heart. The minute if somebody touches Bhagavatam, immediately Krishna resides in their heart. That is what it is saying. And it will develop, it will urge you more. The little bit if you hear, it will urge you more to hear because you are very happy. Look at this beautiful picture of Krishna, right? So the more you hear, the little you hear, the more you want to hear, more you want to hear, more you want to hear, because you're feeling happy that all the contamination, hriday anta, it is there in your heart, lusty desires, all that goes away. See, the lusty desires is binding you, it is hurting you. You don't know that. So it's like taking a tablet for Tylenol or Dolo 650. If you have a headache, if you take a tablet, painkiller, what happens for that minute? The pain is gone, right? We don't know that. We don't know that. We think getting that tablet for a moment, we are getting rid, we are happy. No, that is not true. We want a permanent solution. And we are all in a headache all the time. We are not understanding. We are all diseased and we are all in headache all the time. We are not really realizing it. Little bit taste you should get. So you should hear little bit and see what it is, how it is impacting me. The minute you understand, oh, this is, I feel good, without any effort, I'm feeling good. Then you will be able to understand. Try it, right? Try hearing a little bit of Krishna Katha and everything. Then you'll feel so nice. And then you'll realize, oh, this is what everybody is experiencing. I also want to experience and get rid of all the clutches that I have. Like a crocodile, it is holding on to me. It is holding on to my life, right? That is what. And Krishna Katha is very mesmerizing. It will take you to the highest level of happiness, right? This is our Lakshmi Narasimha Lord from HBR Temple, and this is our Gandharvika Giridhari and Srimati Radharani from HBR Temple. This is our HBR Temple. There's any questions, comments? Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mathaji. Thank you, Mathaji, for explaining the chapter 6 the easy way. Thank you. It was really easy, but I do understand we need some practice. Practicing, or that means hearing the Krishna Katha and chanting. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Any questions on today's topic? Otherwise, Sindu Mathaji will ask some questions to you. She is always
Fear of
ready.
question. Yeah, I was actually ready, Prabhu.
Please go
Prabhuji,
ahead and
first of all, many devotees are not switching on their cameras. If you're
yes,
telling
Prabhu.
this, no, they would be moving out. See,
I
four
requested.
devotees have already left.
Yeah, I requested him in the start of the session.
Yeah.
But see, we can't force them.
I have one question, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
What
please.
are the 6 opulences of Krishna? You can put it in the chat. We studied in the first class. What are the 6 opulences of Krishna?
And hint is there in the name itself.
I'm seeing Pradyumna for the first time, I think, and I'm reminded of Krishna because Pradyumna is a part and parcel of Krishna. He's a plenary expansion of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Pradyumna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I feel this time whoever has joined this session, they know much more. Look at the answers that they give. They give it in Sanskrit. Aishwarya, Virya, Yashasya, Shri, Gnana, and Vairagya. Very nice. Very nice, dear devotees. Very nice. Yes, Shreya Mataji. Very nice. Any realizations, any questions? How many of you are putting Bhoga to Krishna? Krishna doesn't want, but we want, right? So we should start putting Bhoga. We want all our sins to go away. We want peace to be established in our life and in our loved one's life. So we should start putting Bhoga. Just one fruit, how long does it take, isn't it? If somebody comes and tells you, Prabhuji, do this yagna, Mataji, do this yagna, next week you'll become a multimillionaire. Won't we do it? It's like that. It's exactly like that. How many of you are chanting? Yes, Pushpa Mataji, thank you so much. I put Bhoga to Krishna every day. Varshini Mataji, yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Go ahead. Oh, Varshini Mataji was saying I chant, I think. Any other questions, comments, suggestions?
If not, dear devotees, like day before yesterday, Kishan Prabhuji has shared Bhoga ka picture. If you can share that, at least if you are not participating here, if you're doing it, one photo in the group will help. If not, those who are not doing, also motivate them, if it is possible for you.
I think we can end,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Thank you, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining the session and giving me the opportunity to